everybody, Peter here down in the old man shed, making the video about the Econami Soundtraxx 8-pin decoder. It's arrived today from Hattons, so thought let's get on with it and make a video to demonstrate its capabilities. So as you know, I've made a video the other day with a 21-pin. This one's a little bit more involved because you've got to do a bit of soldering with this one. So if you can't solder, guys, this is not for you at all. So here we go. So there's the pin. There's the chip. You can see, I think it may pick it up. There is an LED just there by my finger tapping it to show that it's got power going to it. Quite a length of wire, as you can see. I haven't bothered to cut the wire down. And what I've elected to do, this little pin there was from a fried TTS Hornby decoder. The reason being it was a fried chip is because this is the TTS model that I've taken out from this particular machine. And of course, as we all know, Hornby's chip just comes bare. And I made a mistake. I was a newbie. I made a mistake thinking, oh, I've got to protect that. So I actually put insulating tape around the chip. And for 15 minutes after I'd done that, when I got the loco running, she was running fine. And then she stopped. It's because the chip got super hot, couldn't breathe underneath the insulating tape. And one of those little black components on the chip decided to burn out because it wasn't getting cool on this side, I think, maybe. So luckily for me, I don't know why, but I kept it, even though it was broken, because I was able to take off I just cut off the 8-pin plug with the wires, all right? Because the last thing in the world I wanted to do with the new chip was try and solder 8 wires into an 8-pin plug. I thought there's no way. So what I elected to do was obviously cut the wires from the old 8-pin decoder and then make 8 individual joins in the wires and heat shrinks around them, obviously. So just put a bit of tape around them and keep it all nicely tight together. So that's it. So she's working. So it's quite a lot of wire. So you've got plenty of wire. You know, I've just left it on there so that you could see what you do get with the chip. You see the chip itself, lovely and insulated. You're not going to have the same trouble that I have with the TTS. 8-ohm single iPhone speaker at the other end, because on this side, on one side of the chip, you get 4 wires, 2 wires for the speakers. The other 2 wires, I believe, are probably for a stay alive, maybe auxiliary functions. I don't know. At this side, you get 9 wires, 8 for the 8-pin plug, and there's another auxiliary wire again, which I've just wrapped it around I haven't cut anything off. I thought I'll just keep it there. One day I might know what to do with them, and so I might use them, but who knows. Yeah, so the single iPhone speaker, for those who's never seen one, there's the single iPhone speaker. See, that's where the sound comes out. So there's no need to make a sound chamber. That is it. This is what you get. All that. So, and there's the electrical connection there for the wires and one on that side. So that's it. So that the sound to come out. She's just stuck onto the with a bit of blue tack onto the loco. This end where the sound comes out is obviously nothing in the way. It's clear for the sounds to come out. And as I say, 8-ohm rated, and that's fine. And I can't stress. I love these little sound chips. I think they're great. There's the size compared to the 20 by 40 original, as you can see. So this would actually fit in the plastic holder that would hold that speaker, because you know on this speaker you do need to make a sound chamber behind it for best sound. This one you don't, it just comes as it is. It's all done, just solder your wires. So she's in place with the 8-pin with a bit of blue tack, so she's stuck down onto the chassis, because this is an old Bachmann. Didn't have the recess for the speakers, but it doesn't matter because this is so thin. There's plenty of room in there. So yeah, great. And as you can see, after learning my lesson with the Hornby chip, what I do now is I just cover everything else in tape, so that if it was going to have the chip in there, that's where the chip was. She was sitting against that Tamiya tape, wasn't going to short out on anything. I think I actually stuck it down as well so it wouldn't move. So I've taken this one out from there, and I'm going to go with this chip. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to put all this in, tidy all the wires up. There's plenty of room, so even though I've uncut the wires back, there's plenty of room in the body shell. And I'm going to make a video of all the different sounds, and then obviously leave it as a default. This is the when you get it, if you do elect to buy one, comes in a blister pack. Yeah, this is all you get. You get this piece of paper with a plastic bag, and the chip is inside that. So don't rip this bag up, because this is all your instructions. There's your wiring diagram in case you don't know what's what. Other bits and pieces, installation and wiring, all the rest of it. So just be careful how you open up this piece of paper. There at the front is the CVs, yeah, address and deceleration and whatever. The one underneath that, prime mover, I guess just means the locomotive, locomotive that you're going to choose. And there you are. It says 6, well, stroke 7, because the Class 66 also, they say, can be used for a 67 as well, because it's the same engine. I won't be doing that, because I have the Hornby Class 67, and that comes with a TTS, but I'll put a TTS chip in it. So I don't want the same sound in 67 and the same sound in 66, because the gearing is the difference that you get on the 67, which I don't think you'll get trying to mimic this. And as you can see underneath there, as well as the what they call the prime mover, you get the primary air horn. Now, for some reason or other, they've got an air horn for the front and an air horn setting for the rear. So I don't know about American motors, locomotions, whether or not they've got two sounding horns, a bit at the front, bit at the back. I don't know, but I'm not going to muck around with all those. I will do just one of each to demonstrate. Anything on the back? Yes, on the back is the F functions. Let's do that. So there's the F functions. Not as, there you are. It's not as fully featured as the Hornby TTS. There's no flange squeal. There is brake squeal. Brake squeal, release, couple, uncoupled. So there's a few functions on there, but as I said to you before, guys, I don't use them. I'll obviously use the engine, and I'll use the horn, and that's about it. So, but there you are. So there's all the functions. Right, so I'm going to stop this, and I'm going to put the loco all together, put her on the track, and then I'll start making each individual little videos of the different sounds. So what you've got to do, guys, you probably have to close your eyes, because if it's like doing the Class 20, and you're looking at the body of a Class 66 going around, just shut your eyes, that'll help. I've got, obviously with my models, I've got Class 37s and I've got Class 66s. So I know that's pretty good. Certainly the 66 I love. I think it's really good. 37, against the ESU lock sound, well, it's the price, isn't it? What you get, what you pay for. And on the ESU lock sound, the 37, it really has got a good rumble, good roar as he pulls away. But I'll leave that to you. You can decide. And I've got experience of a Class 20 as regards in my model shows. When we take one of the layouts out, we've got a Class 20. So I know the Class 20. The other locomotives, I don't know. So I'll leave it to you to decide whether you like it or not. But anyway, doesn't matter. This is a video just to show you what this decoder's like. Now, the other thing aside from this one, unlike its brother, the 21-pin decoder, this one actually costs more. And I can only assume it costs more because obviously it costs more to produce, because you're looking at having to do the wiring, the soldering, and all that sort of thing. So even though she doesn't come with anything, so there's no speaker that comes with it, guys. There's no plug that comes with it. You would have to get the plug. All right. All you're getting is the chip and with the wiring attached. All right. So you've got to provide a speaker. You've got to provide the plug. And I did with the TTS. All right. But despite all that, this is actually about £76, I think it is. Its 21-pin brother, I think, was 10 quid cheaper, so 60-something odd pounds. But as I say, probably easier to manufacture the 21-pin chip than this, because of all the extra gubbins it involves in the manufacture. So the budget obviously goes to TTS Hornby. They are really the budget decoders, and they are brilliant. Let's face it, if you can't do anything else, they are still good. This is not bad. It's certainly powerful enough for the Bachmann 66, whereas the TTS was lacking a little bit. I had to change the algorithm, and she didn't have a top speed. I could get up out of 28 speed steps. I could put it up to, say, maybe 18 or so. And if I increased it above that, it didn't make any difference. It wouldn't go any faster. It just couldn't do it. This one, on the other hand, I think I'm finding if it's anything like the 21 pin, it's got plenty of power. So obviously it's got more power in the chip than the TTS. Right, enough waffle, guys. Let's make a video. Guys, here we are. So we're back. The loco's all been put together again. We're about to start it up by putting power through the track, because the unique thing with these Soundtraxx decoders, they start up as soon as they detect power in the track. Like all things, if you find the right CV setting, you can actually turn that off. But it doesn't mean that you can turn the engine back on again with function 1. You have to use function 5 to turn the engine on if it's off. And function 5 also allows you to thrash the engine as well. And function 6 is what brings it down and then finally turns it off. Function 8 actually mutes it. It doesn't turn it mutes the sound only. The sound is still there, so you haven't turned it off. It just mutes it. So I'm going to put power to the track, and what you will hear is the default setting of a class 20 and its horn. And then I'm going to change the CVs and go through the list of locomotives. All right, so I'm going to turn the power on. So, English Electric Class 20. We have 3 horn buttons. That was the dual one as well. So the first one, I'll just turn number 3 off because that gives you the dual horn. That's that one. So function 1 is this horn, the first one. Second one. There you go. Alright, so that's the horns. I've already set the acceleration and deceleration, and believe it or not, I've also reduced the sound a little bit as well, all in the CVs. Recording this on my camera, my phone, so maybe not the best microphone, but just to give you an idea anyway. So I'm gonna move it forward. Got that nice whistle of class 20, isn't it? So bring it back, change direction, accelerate up to about 8. Slow it down. Right, so that's your class 20. Let it tick over. I can shut it down by using function 6. Alright, and I can start it up. Instead of just turning the power to the track, I can physically start it up with function 5 if I wanted to now. Alright, so there you go. So I'll turn it back off again. Right, so that's the class 20. So I'm going to stop that one. I'm going to change the CVs, and the next one up is the 31. So I'll be back in a sec. We're back again. This time we've got the class 21. So to put power to the track, start her up. I don't know what a class 31 sounds like, guys. Do the horn. Number 1, number 2, and a dual. There you go. Right, set her forward, see what we get. I can't take it round the track because I've got the wagons at the back of the track at the moment, so I'm just using the front of the layout just to make a run backwards and forwards. Change direction, bring her back. And should be ticking over. You can hear the poppet valves going. I think, to be honest, guys, that all those sort of extra functions are in all the locos. But again, if you don't want the poppet valves, you find a CV and turn it to 0 so it won't come on at all, or you go into the individual volume sounds. There's a master volume for the complete engine, or there's individual volume settings, and you can turn the poppet valve either louder or mute it altogether in the CV. So, you know, if you don't like these extra sounds like that, there we go, you just turn them off in the CVs. But they're all default at the moment. So right, let's turn this off. There you go, so that's the class 31. So I'll be back with a class 37. So stand by. Right, sorry, hello everybody. Breaking in between the video. This is Alan of Dragon Junction, and not Dave of Dragon Junction. All right. In the next segment about the class 37, I'm talking about Dragon Junction, and I'm giving the YouTube channel to a guy called Dave. And obviously, Alan, I'm so sorry. I think what it was, I'm thinking that we're all shed guys, you, myself, and Dave from Dave's Trains. So when I'm thinking of, you know, I'm getting old, mate. Sorry, the old brain's going a little bit. So, Alan, I'm so sorry. So that's why I've made this quick little interjunction in between the video to apologise to you for giving your layout to Dave. I mean, Dave's he's a good bloke as well, but yeah, I think it's because we're all shed guys, and I get a bit tongue-tied, as you can tell, when I make these videos, and get a bit anxious, and yeah, it just slipped out that I gave your YouTube channel away to a bloke called Dave. But no. All right, everybody, so this is the great bloke, which is Alan of Dragon Junction. All right, so I hope you forgive me, Alan. So sorry. All right, okay, back to the video. Right, class 37's all been programmed in. Let's send power to the track. So you don't get the, unlike the ESU lock sound, you don't get the opportunity to try and do a delayed cold start. That's it. But you get what you pay for. Both myself and Dave at Dragon Junction, we've modified our class 37s by taking out the speaker assembly that's in the roof. And I think we've both fitted double iPhone speakers into the 37s, the Batman 37s. Using ESU lock sound chips, and well, I don't think, you know, there's been nothing I've found to beat the class 37 sound from the ESU lock sound. But here we go. This is a budget range decoder. Well, you know, mid-range maybe, not budget, mid-range. So let's go through the horns. Number 1. number 2, and dual. There you go. Let's move it off. Hope this is picking up on the old volume, guys, because as I say, it's my mobile phone is doing all the recording. Must get a proper video camera. I guess if you didn't have, if you couldn't stretch to the, ESU, if you didn't know any better, you'd probably be quite happy with this. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to press F5 because that should step up the engine. Without it moving, it should increase the engine. So it's revving a little bit more. There you go, see it starts going up. But it hasn't got the roty roar of the ESU lock sound, but you get what you pay for. That chip is £110, isn't it? This is against 76 for this one. Right, I've now got to bring it down. And it should bring it down. And eventually it'll turn it off. So that should be shutting it down. There you go. There you could also hear there's another function, like an automatic fan or some sort of generator noise or something or other, which again is bringing into the each individual's model. So again, I don't know what that is. Some sort of compressor noise. Again, I'm sure there's a CV value that you can turn that off if you don't want it, or go into the master volume settings and find out what that one is and reduce it so you don't hear it. Right, next one will be the 37. We're just at 37. Next one is a 47. So there we go. So I programmed in the 47. So power to the track. Let's see what this one is. I don't know what the 47's like. Go through the horns. Oh, that's a bit weird, isn't it? Right, move it. All high whistle with this one, isn't it? Bring it back. If it's doing your head in, guys, looking at a 66 making all these weird and wonderful sounds. Oh, hello. That's not good. The track is dirty there. Alright. No problems. Just bring it back. So you've got to hear more of that than right, so that's the 47, yes. Next one is the 66 stroke 67, but to be honest, I've got the Hornby 67, so I wouldn't be getting this chip for my 67s. I want them to be different, even if they're supposed to be the same. I don't want a 66 going around with a 67 and they're both sounding exactly the same. Right, let's turn this off. and we'd be back with my favourite, which is the 66, which is really why I've got this chip. I mean, it really does make a good sound of a 66, better than the TTS one. So let's do that. Again, we programmed in the 66. The funny thing is that the horn, there is no horn set up for the 66. So out of all the horns that comes with the Loco, I've decided that I like the horn that comes with a Class 37 to use as a 66 horn. Doesn't sound a million miles away from what these things would be. So that's what we go with. So now, you've heard this one before, but this is the 66. Poppet valves, there's that generator fan kit cutting in as well, so that's giving it a little bit more noise. It will go off, comes on randomly again, I suppose. That's maybe at start up, but to me this is the best sound out of all of them. I mean, it's nice that they do all these different Locos. It's quite, you know, quite clever. That's why I wanted to get the chip. I wanted to see what it's like, but to be honest, I wanted another 8-pin decoder for the Class 66 without going to the ESU route, and I thought, when I saw this on the Hatton's website, these chips, these American chips, I thought give it a go. And yeah, I love the 66 sound, obviously, but so the horn is set up as a Class 37, but it works for the 66. That's not bad. And of course, this one, as I said before, if you do a notch up before you pull away, it sounds like it's putting a real heavy load. So let's notch up. Now it's really good. Put it away. Follow it around, Peter. There you go. So, best sound out of the lot, really, guys. And that's comparing it against the ESU lock sound. I think it compares quite favourably to it, really. Come back. I didn't bother to rev it there, I just let it come back on its own steam. That's it, and we'll shut her down. Yeah, the best sound out of all of them, let's face it. Really, you know, it is a genuine sound file, evidently. It's been recorded from a Class 66 out in the States, so there we are. So, yeah, can't do better than that. Right, last one is what we got. British Rail Derby Class Lightweight DMU unit. So there we go. So be back in a sec once I've programmed it. Right, so this is the a lightweight DMU noise. So let's see what she starts up. Put the power to the track. Oh, it's a nice little gentle diesel tick over noise, isn't it? Go for the horns. Oh dear, that's a bit... Oh. Well, that's the horn. Right, let's see what she sounds like pulling away. Just like a diesel engine, isn't it? Really, just your normal diesel engine could... Nice little tick over for the diesel. Well, that's it, guys. That's all 7 sounds. Well, 6 sounds. So 6 individual sounds. And one's supposed to be a dual. Oh, there you go. I don't know what you think of it. Shut it down. But I hope this is, you know, this being recorded on a camera phone, you know, my smartphone. Obviously, it's not the most perfect recording device, but I hope it's given you an idea of what's unique about this chip. The fact that it starts up as soon as it gets power. I should imagine if you had quite a few of them with the chips fitted in, and as soon as you turn power to the tracks, you know, they'll all be starting up, unless, as I say, you can turn it off. You've got to go. I've been online to Soundtraxx website. They've got maintenance sheets and things like that, and there's got a whole list of CVs and what they do. And as I say, there's a master volume control over, which just increases and decreases the master volume of everything. Or within that menu, there are individual controls for the different functions. So as I say, if that poppet valve gets on your nerves, you can take it right down so you don't hear it. The brake squeal is a function 11 that you got to hit function 11 to get the brake squeal. And on the other model that I did the other day, the video I made of the 21 pin, although there was brake squeal there, it was quite hard to hear it, but of course you can go into the CV setting and increase the volume for the brake squeal setting alone, you know, so it's one of the loudest noises on it. So, you know, like with all these chips, there's a multitude of things you can do by going into the CVs, so you've got to know the change of CVs. But there you are, guys. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, the installation and everything. I've got 2 nice Class 66s that I will elect to have them in 66s, obviously. This one and the other GBRF that I had the other day with a 21 pin. So I've got 2 nice 66 locos now using Soundtraxx decoders. But you know, my favourite obviously is the lock sound, but of course they're expensive. But prefer this one now in the 66 over the TTS 66 chip. Much better. All right. Okay, guys. So thanks for sticking with it this long. This video came on quite quickly after the last one, so I hope you didn't get too bored or whatever with all my videos. But yeah, give you an idea of what these Soundtraxx decoders are all about, because I'd never heard of them before until I saw it on the Hatton's website, and I thought I'd give it a go because I was intrigued by the fact that it had all these different engines on there. And yeah, just wanted to give it a go, and there we are. So we've done it, and I thought I'd share my experience with you guys. All right, so now you know what the Soundtraxx go. Oh, before I sign off, there are Soundtraxx decoders for the steam engines as well, because what's new? These are like British Outline diesel engines, yeah, these chips, but they also do British Outline steam engines. But the steam engines, unlike these where it tells you what particular locomotive is supposed to be, the steam engine, you've got to be a bit of a rivet counter, because you've got to tell the chip how many cylinders the steam engine is fitted with, because it all boils down to the chuff rate. So they don't have individual engines and such, but it's how you configure the decoder to represent, be it an A3 or I don't even know. That's the one I know about my steam engines. That's it. You know, Flying Scotsman I know is an A1 and A3s, and that's it. But there's all these different cylinders that a steam engine has, and for the purists, if when it's going around, if the chuffage rate is not correct, then they all sort of kick up the fuss. So the Soundtraxx English steam decoder, you don't elect the locomotive, whatever it is. You've got to go in and choose how many cylinders your steam engine is fitted with, and then start adjusting your CVs accordingly. But I don't need to do that because I've got nothing about that, so I don't have to worry. Okay, guys and gals, everybody, thanks for tuning in, and that's it. All right, so all the best, everybody. I'm saying goodbye now. Bye bye, everybody. Bye.